Hello, everybody. Good morning. So glad you guys are joining me. I've got two cards to share with you. These are, it kind of might just look like a regular card, but let me show you what we're doing today. Look at this. We're going to make our cardstock be, I don't want to use the word boring because it's not boring, right? But we're going to just decorate all of the card. What do you think? I just think it's really fun. It's a unique way. And hey, we love to stamp, so why not, correct? This just gives us a little more stamping time. And really, when you open up that card, isn't it nice to just see all of those great images? So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to create both cards. Let me head back over here. I'm going to invite Brenda and Christina to come on. So friends, if you're over on YouTube, you can chat with Brenda. Well, you can chat with me too. But Brenda is over there monitoring what you guys are chatting about and monitoring. It sounds like, hall monitor. No, she's not. She's just making sure that if there's questions that she can ask. Christina is over on Facebook, for those of you that are joining us on Facebook. So welcome, ladies. So glad you're here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When you said hall monitor, I'm like, detention. You're all tardy.
You're all, yes.
Oh, goodness.
For me, I guess my big thing in school, I was always in trouble for talking. If
me too.
Put in as much work into her math as she does her drama, she would be an amazing student.
Yeah. Brenda's very talkative and a chatty little thing.
Christina was the rule follower, though.
Yes, I was a talker, but also I'm terrified of getting in trouble.
Yeah.
So I will do whatever you tell me to do because I don't want you to yell at me. I'll cry.
Oh, boy.
Oh, good times, right, Christina?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go ahead and jump in. I've got to go visit my mom. You guys know, I've kind of had to be hit or miss with my lives because we've been taking care of her and things have just been going up and down, but I want to try to be there whenever the doctors are there and whenever, the nurses are doing things. We like either my sister or I to be there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in and create some cards. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go. Ladies, let me know if there are any questions because I want to be able to get everybody answered. So, friends, we're going to start with this card here because it's my favorite. Can I tell you, do you guys ever go through this? I'm not sure how I feel about this card. Have you ever made it and you go, I don't know. I'm still not sold on it. We'll see. Maybe you guys will change my mind. But I loved this one here. So I've got a free download that goes along. You guys know I always give you the free download. So you're going to have the supplies, the measurements, photos. You can come back to watch the video again by just clicking or scanning the QR code. And then if you would like to order any of the supplies that I used on my cards today, you can click this image or I've got a direct link right there. Guys, this is the supply list for the cards that I'm using. So everything, if you want to go back and check out anything, that is where you'll find it all. All right, guys, you'll find the free download over at simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description. I've got a direct link for you. All right, so for this card, really, it was a lot of scraps. I got to tell you, look, we got lots of scraps. So we're going to start. The first thing I want to share with you is this is a piece of fresh freesia, 4 1/4 by 11. I did not score it yet because remember, we're going to do this stamping all over this cardstock, right? And I never like to have a score line when I'm stamping because then the stamp doesn't always go nice. So I'm going to have you score afterwards. So let me show you my stamp set. Actually, for this card, I'm going to be using a bundle. All right. So the Country Flowers does come separately as a stamp set. The dies come separately, but if you order them together, you save 10%. And I love this stamp set. Love it. But then I love anything with flowers. But we're going to be using the dies and the stamp set today. So I'm going to start with my floral image and my Fresh Freesia cardstock. I'm going to bring in a Fresh Freesia ink pad. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to randomly stamp this. And I usually rotate my cardstock around. It seems to be a little bit faster for me to rotate my cardstock than rotate my stamp. So I'm going to get those edges here in a minute because I like to kind of get everything here in the middle first. And now I'll bring in some grid paper. I've just cut up my grid paper just to make it a little bit easier for the camera. But over at my real stamping table, I like my big grid paper. So you can see we're just going to kind of fill in. Like I said at the beginning, guys, we love to stamp. So why not, if you've got a really great focal image, why not just go ahead and stamp all over your cardstock rather than leave it plain. Now, I love clean and simple. You guys follow me, you know. Clean and simple is one of my favorites. But that doesn't mean that I can't come in every once in a while and create a really great look. Now, through the magic of television, I have the other side already stamped for you. So, again, that was in the Fresh Freesia. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my paper trimmer so I can give this a score at 5.5 inches. So score that in half. Now we get to have fun creating. All right, let me go ahead and fold this. Oh, let me tell you something else about this technique. I look and I see which is my best side. I think that's my best side. And I got that off just here. There we go. So I think that's my best side. If you've got anything that messed up, you're going to want it to go right here because we're going to hide it. And let's face it, we can mess up things. It can happen, right? All right, so card's done. I'm going to set that off to the side because I want to get to creating our focal image. So I'm going to bring in my dies here. And I've got, oh, let's see, what are my measurements? I've got a 1 3/4 by 3. It can be scrap, okay? And that's of petal pink. And that's going to be for the collection of flowers, and then 3. You see there's some that have 2. We want the 3. All right, so that's 1. I've got a little piece of soft sea foam, 2 by 2 1/4. Again, it's scrap, whatever will allow you to get the leaves. Now I've got a piece of Pool Party, and this is a 1 3/4 by 3. Let's do a little stamping. We're going to use Pebbled Path. And this one I decided I wanted to do the teapot. So you're going to stamp your teapot right there in your Pool Party. Let's see, what else do I need? I think that's all I need right here. So I will grab my teapot. Okay. See that? All right, we're going to die cut all of that. Now, through the magic of television, I did that, okay? And now I'm going to show you what we're going to do on this circle here. So for the focal image on my card, I did it in a circle, and I used the Spotlight on Nature. And I used the second to the largest die right there, okay? And I die cut that. You can do it from scrap, but basically, guys, you're going to need, let me get my cardstock here. This was a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, all right? And so I did go ahead and die cut that for you, all right? So get that die cut. There's all my little pieces, okay? Everything's good to go. Let's say you don't have that Spotlight on Nature. Well, don't worry. You could also do this with just a square. And it's a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So you could do a square. You know, don't feel like you have to do the circles. All right. So I'm going to do one, you know, I'm going to go ahead and finish my stamping if that's cool. So here on the inside, I got a piece of basic white 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And you remember that flower that we just stamped in Fresh Freesia? I'm going to clean that real quick because I'm going to stamp it again in my card. And I'm going to do that in Petal Pink. And could not be any easier because we're just going to do that. And then my stamp set, I have this So Lucky to Know You, and I thought that was perfect. We're also going to have Best Friend Ever, and so we'll be using that one as well. But I'm going to bring in my Pebbled Path, and I will stamp So Lucky to Know You. All right, and our last bit of stamping. Now, this one, you guys are probably going to curse my name on this one. You're going to go, Connie, what were you thinking? Are you ready? It's this little tiny piece. It is, I believe, 1/4 by 4 1/4. I mean, it's tiny, but so is the sentiment. Okay, it's so little. So here's the thing, guys. You want to talk about a scrap. This is truly a scrap. And you could make it a little bit bigger if you wanted. But it is a photopolymer stamp set. And if you mess up, you could cut yourself another little piece. I mean, it's not like, hey, I actually did pretty good on that. Guess what? I had a backup just in case because I was afraid I'd mess it up. But I did all right. So we've got all of our stamping done. All right. So I believe, well, it's time to put things together. So here we go. I'm going to take, this is the inside. And I did make all of this, like where I write my message and stuff, I did make it all a little bit smaller than I might normally because this is Pool Party, and this is a 3 3/4 by 5. And let me show you why I made it smaller. Because here, when I put this inside my card, you know what? I think this is the side I want to cover up. I wanted this to kind of peek through. I wanted it to really look like all of that was decorated and pretty. Yeah, so I kind of left that just a little bit smaller than normal. Let's come in now. Let's get all of our little pieces. So this will be our Spotlight on Nature. Remember, I said you could also make it a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square if you didn't have, and you could use any circle die as well, friends. I mean, don't feel like it has to be this one. I just love the little delicate edges of that. There's my die cut teapot. And here are my leaves. You know what? I think I'm going to do this with multi-purpose glue. Sometimes I just find it to be a little bit easier. Oops, coming out a little too fast there. We're going to add just some little dots here on the leaves. Let's add this right here. Now, remember that set of flowers that it was all in one? I mean, how awesome is that? Well, I went and put mini dimensionals on the back of that. So I'm going to take off these backings. This was just really nice because it was a great way to add these flowers quickly. Flying glue, be careful. And I don't have the lid on because, you know, I'm just not that bright. Oh, come on. Last backing. There we go. So where I'm going to add these, I kind of look at this little, I hate to call it a dead spot. That sounds so awful. But we're going to add that right there. Okay. I had another piece of Pool Party, and this one is a 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. And this is going to go across the bottom of the card. I'd love to hear from you. How many of you have this stamp set and this die set? Like I said, it's just been one of my favorites. It's kind of an easy go-to one because it has so many different options to it. It's got the little kind of country bucket and that teapot and then a little stool it can all sit on. So cute. All right, so we have those extra flowers. Remember, actually, we only had 3. I don't know where that one came from. So we're going to get rid of that. So I have a large one and 2 small ones. Let's add our large one right here. We're going to put our 2 small ones on the other side of our sentiment. And again, fresh freesia, pool party, soft sea foam, and petal pink. Gorgeous, gorgeous color combination.
Hey, Connie.
Yes, ma'am.
Several people are saying that they have it and they love it.
They do. Good, good, good.
I just put it in my cart, so that's a start. And
oh, well, it is a start.
It is a start to put it in your cart. Then you just pay for it.
That's right.
So you
well,
know.
and there's still bonus days going on. If you guys have any of your bonus coupons, now's the time to use those up.
And the DSP, I just
and
added
the DSP sale.
I just added more, so that's good.
I know.
Several people that are telling you that they just love the card. They love that you say the magic of television.
Somebody needs to tell me where that phrase actually came from.
Oh, I'll have to Google that. I know
I feel like I know it, but
Yep, I heard it as a kid,
Yeah, that's what I feel like. But, like, I don't know. What did Howdy Doody say this or something? Like I watched Howdy Doody.
I didn't watch that.
My only experience with Howdy Doody is when he was on Happy Days.
There it is. There it is. So, yeah,
right? That was Howdy Doody. Yeah, that was Howdy Doody.
Yeah, they're saying that they like the ideas. They have the stamp set. They haven't used it yet, so you are an inspiration.
Oh, good, good, good. And like I said, even if you don't have the Spotlight on Nature dies, look at your other circle dies. Look at any shape die. That's just the one that I picked. You guys know I'm a real big fan of using what you have. But I also know when sometimes we see a stamp set we've had our eye on, or a die set as well, and we've had our eye on it, and we keep going back and forth. Sometimes we just need that one last idea to go, yeah, I have to have it. It's just me, right? There we go. So you can see I added some jewel rhinestones because I think that just really dolled it up. And yeah, isn't it just, it's just so nice that everything on the card is decorated. So that is a great tip to just remember in the future as you're working. What kind of stamp do you have that you could just easily create a background all over your card? Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and create the other card. The one I said I'm not 100% sure of, but we're going to make it anyway. So this card has been created with, and I got to tell you, I loved this stamp set as soon as I saw it in the catalog. This is You Are Beautiful. I love this image. Well, I love both of them. And the sentiments. There's a trust in the Lord with all of your heart. You are a shining light. Make today amazing. And you are beautiful. Fantastic. And of course, love the font. I'm all about the fonts. Okay. Well, to make things go a little bit quicker on this one, you guys have already seen me stamp all over the cardstock. And I did that here on Pebbled Path, scored it. Now, just like my other card, the only thing I've changed for the base of the card are the colors. So Pebbled Path, crushed curry, and cherry cobbler. So remember that inside? All right, that's what we've got going on there. So we've done all of this stamping. Let's go ahead and stamp here on the inside. And this card, I'm going to be using Pebbled Path again. This one, of course, I'm kind of leaning towards a good masculine card. So that's why, and Brenda, remind me, but I think this was one of our color challenges too. Pebbled Path, cherry cobbler, and no, I said crushed curry. Forgive me. That is wild wheat. Oh my goodness. Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's been a color challenge.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite colors.
It is. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to stamp Make Today Amazing there. And let's see if I can.
Real quick, while you're stamping.
Yeah.
Terry made a comment that maybe it was Julia Child who said "through the magic of television."
Really?
Which would make a lot of sense. But I did a quick Google, and it looks like the phrase was kind of brought about where the thing I was just looking at go. Basically, like when BBC introduced television, they said, "Good afternoon. It's with great pleasure that I introduce you to the magic of television."
Oh,
and that was the first public television broadcast.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
See, friends, we learned something today. Love it.
The more you know.
Do you guys know that I actually live in the town, the birthplace of television?
Really?
I did not know that.
Rigby, Idaho.
Rigby, Idaho. I
Yeah.
think more is
Philo
where the
tea.
shopping cart was.
Yeah. Philo T.
I think
Farnsworth.
that's true.
So
That's right. I remember
so
that.
we've learned really important trivia today.
That's right. It's more than stamping on this channel. Guys, this cherry cobbler, this was a 2.5 by 4 1/4, and I just added that to my card. This wild wheat is a 2-inch by 4 1/4. When you stamp the sentiment, I want you to stamp it all the way over on the right side, because we're going to do a fun little technique with some in color jute. Okay, so I've got this. Now I'm going to bring in the jute, and here's what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to wrap this around 3 times. So you see how I've got it kind of in the center there? Maybe we'll bring it about right there. So we want 3 times to come around. I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to hold that in place, hopefully. There we go. I'm going to get one down here. Okay, let me trim this down. We really want to make sure. Oh, look what I did. I didn't trim it in the right place. That's okay. That's okay. It could actually use an extra dimensional there. Okay. So see how we have that going on there? Our little 3 strands. Now I'm just going to tie, and I'm going to leave it on the spool. Again, I'm going for a masculine card here, so I definitely don't want anything that's in a bow. But I'm just going to tie this over once. Tie it really tight because we don't want it to let go. And then I'm cutting it super close. So that kind of just gives it, like I said, it kind of gives it that little bit of a masculine feel. So I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals there. And let me tell you, I'm doing the Stampin' Dimensionals, well, 1, because I love them. And 2, I'm doing them because I got that one too far down. I need some height to this card because that jute is going to kind of cause me some issues in there. So I'm going to add, yeah, I went a little heavy on the end, but you know, the Stampin' Dimensionals, they're just kind of an absolute must on this card. Oh, that's the one I already got off of there. Here we go. That's going to go straight across from side to side. And there we go. So we get some nice height there. We've got that baker's twine, or not baker's twine, forgive me, jute going on there. What do you guys think? Like I said, I'm kind of still a little on the fence on this one. But, you know, sometimes we create things and we just have to step away. So I hope that you guys like today's cards and that you're going to give this fun technique a try. Before I go, I want to show you what we're creating next week, because these cards, they're amazing. Okay, this is my suspended image card. Okay, it's going to stand. We've got our little pretties on the back. This is a wonderful Feel Better Soon. And I don't know, can you guys see? Can you see how I'm making it suspended? Yeah, I'm upcycling some of the acetate that comes in our photopolymer stamp sets. So we're going to have a use for those. So I've got that card, and then I've got this one as well. Check it out. Look at how the birds, they just float. I think these are going to be so fun. I cannot wait to teach these to you, and you're going to really enjoy sending these. And I promise you, we're going to make it simple because that's what we do around here, right? Okay, my friends. Yay. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you like the cards. Remember, yes, that's the stamps that I use. Get creative with what you have. Go look through your stash and go, what image would be really great stamped all over my cardstock before I put a card together? I'm telling you, it kind of really makes you rethink your stamping a little bit. Because for me, I'm like, I don't have to have plain cardstock anymore. I really need to start doing that more often because it really makes a difference. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, and oh goodness, I hope you did. If you did, a thumbs up on YouTube is always appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. If you'll ring that bell, YouTube will notify you whenever I'm back with another video or whenever I'm back live. We love having you guys here live. And for those of you on the replay, you're always welcome. We love having you guys here as well. So be sure to subscribe, and I will be back with you next week. So we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.